Everyone says repotting is essential, and it is. But here's the fact. Repotting your bonsai at the wrong time can do more harm than good. Today, we're diving into the real do's and don'ts of repotting. When to do it, when to absolutely avoid it, and what signs your tree give you in order to take this action. Stick around because this knowledge can really make a difference for your bonsai's health. So, why do we repot bonsai trees in the first place? When trees grow in nature, their roots explore unlimited soil to find water and nutrients. But in a bonsai pot, that space is tight. Over time, the roots grow in circles and fill every corner of the pot. The soil gets compacted, loses nutrients, and the tree becomes what we call pot-bound. Left unchecked, this leads to root rot, dehydration, nutrient deficiency, and eventually a dying tree. Repotting is not about aesthetics, it's about survival. It allows us to prune the roots, refresh the soil, and give the tree what it needs to thrive. The frequency depends on a few key things: the tree species, the size of the pot and the soil it is filled with, the age of the tree, and your local climate. As a general rule, fast-growing species should be repotted every 1 to 2 years, mature ones or slow-growing species every 3 to 5 years. But here's the kicker: never repot just because the calendar says so. Repotting should only be done when you see clear indication that your tree is root-bound. This, in turn, is typically signaled by a loss of percolation. Water has a hard time penetrating into the soil and reaching the deeper roots. It rather slides out of the pot instead of draining through it. But be careful, loss of percolation could also be due to a thick layer of organic material and living moss laying on the top of your soil. Before repotting straight away, start by scratching away that first layer of soil in your pot. If you find fresh roots and good integral soil particles underneath that, and you observe that water can now drain to the pot easily, then repotting can wait. Instead, if the soil is still very compact and hard to water, it's time to act. Another clear signal is the level of the soil in the pot. Root-bound trees tend to fill the pot so much that they push the soil surface up, above the pot rim. That is another indication that the pot is full of roots and it's high time for a good trim to the root system. So, now that we know how to assess when repotting is needed, let's have a look at when not to repot. Very important. Don't repot in early winter. Your bonsai is going to stay dormant for a few months. The roots won't be actively growing for quite some time, so they won't recover from the shock anytime soon. And the night frost could prevent the cuts from healing properly. Repotting now can kill it. Second, don't repot in summer. Temperatures above 32 degrees or 90 Fahrenheit, bad idea. Trees go into summer dormancy due to heat stress. Pruning the roots during this time is like kicking someone when they're already down. Third, don't repot a struggling tree. This one is counterintuitive. If your tree looks weak, yellowing or sick, do not repot. The stress will likely push it over the edge. First, fix the environment. Light, watering, pests. Only repot once the tree is healthy again. Fourth, don't repot just because you're excited. I get it. You just bought a new tree and you want to give it a fresh start thing. But bonsai needs patience. Let the tree adapt to your space for a few months before any major change. When to repot, instead, the right time, early spring, the golden window. This is the best time in general. The tree is waking up from winter dormancy and the buds are just starting to swell, like now. It hasn't pushed out new growth yet, so root pruning won't cause leaf drop. And once it starts growing again, it will heal quickly. Some species can also be repotted in early fall. Deciduous trees like elms, hornbeams and maples, and conifers like junipers and pine can also be repotted in early autumn, if the climate is mild and you're not too aggressive with the root system. Third, when soil is compact or draining poorly. If watering your tree feels like pouring water onto a brick, the soil is probably hydrophobic. You'll need to repot, even if it's earlier than planned. Choose the right substrate, well draining, airy, and suited for your climate. After a successful repot, treat your tree like a patient in recovery. Keep it out of strong sun and wind for 2 to 3 weeks. Mist it daily, especially if it is deciduous. Hold off on fertilizing for about a month. Monitor it carefully. New buds? Good sign. Wilting? Adjust placement or watering. Remember, bonsai is all about timing and observation. Repotting can be a life-saving reset or a fatal mistake. Now that you know when not to repot, you're one step closer to becoming the tree whisperer you bonsai deserve. If you found this helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and tap that notification bell. and drop a comment if you want a step-by-step video on how to repot your tree next spring. See you in the next video, and as always, anyone can play bonsai.